Hello students. In today's video we are going to learn about a new theory, valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. When we started this chapter, chemical bonding and molecular structure, I listed few theories that have been put forward to explain the chemical bond formation and the structures of different molecules. In that series, we have already seen about Corson-Lewis approach, and that theory was based on octet rule. Then we have seen about Langmuir theory also to explain covalent bond formation. But those theories could not explain why molecules possess different structures. So to explain the structure of different molecules, this theory was put forward. VSEPR theory. It is valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. And this theory was put forward to explain the shapes of molecules. And this theory was given by Sidgwick and Powell in 1940 and was further improved by Nyholm and Gillespie in 1957. So what is the basic idea of this theory? What does it say? It says the electron pairs surrounding the central atom. See, we know when there is a chemical bond formation, there will be a central atom and that atom will be bonded with some other atom. Suppose if I take CO2, carbon acts as the central atom and it is bonded to two oxygen atoms. So we call that as electron pairs around the central atom. So the electron pairs surrounding the central atom repel one another. So they will repel one another and move so far apart from one another that there are no further repulsions between them. Now I'll show you an example, a model. Let's take this as a carbon atom. This carbon atom is bonded to two oxygen atoms. So we get carbon dioxide. So I'm bonding it. See, I'm getting carbon dioxide. This is two oxygen. These are the two oxygens and this is the carbon. What VSEPR theory says is, this is the electron pair. This is also the electron pair. They will repel each other and they will move as far as apart so that the repulsion between them is no more. So they can be like this as a straight line here. Because if it comes little closer like this, there's going to be repulsion. If it is going this way, like this way, there will be some repulsion. So it moves as far as apart so that there will be minimum repulsion. So when there is minimum repulsion, so when the molecule is like this, then the molecule is having minimum energy and there will be maximum stability. So remember, according to VSEPR theory, from the topic itself you can understand valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. So the electron pairs will repel each other and they move as far as apart and they will stay in that position. So that results in different structures. So this concept, what concept? That the electron pairs are repelling each other, this concept leads to various assumptions. We call that as basic assumptions of the VSEPR theory. And these assumptions, they help to find the shape of a molecule. So the results of this concept is called as basic assumptions, and that basic assumptions, they help you to find the shape of a molecule. Now let's see what are the basic assumptions. So the first assumption, the shape of a molecule containing only two atoms is always linear. So when there are only two atoms in a molecule, for example H2, then the shape of that molecule will always be linear, which means it is straight. The second assumption, for molecules containing three or more atoms, if your molecule has three or more than three atoms, one of the atoms is called the central atom to which the other atoms are linked. Suppose if you have four atoms, one atom is taken as the central atom and three other atoms are bounded to that central atom. And the third assumption is that if the central atom is linked to similar atoms, for example, just now I showed you carbon dioxide. See, this is the central atom and it is linked to similar atom. Both are same, both are oxygen. If the central atom is linked to similar atoms, and it is surrounded by bond pairs of electrons. Okay, what is bond pair of electron? These are the bond pair of electrons. So if the central atom is surrounded by only bond pair of electrons, the repulsions between them are similar. As a result, the shape of the molecule is symmetrical and the molecule is said to have a regular geometry. Now I'll show you all those shapes with models. So remember, if the central atom is linked to the similar atom and it is surrounded only by bond pairs. When we say only by bond pairs, there are lone pairs also. So we are not taking lone pairs into consideration here. We are talking only about bond pairs. So when there are only bond pairs around the central atom, then the molecule will be having a regular geometry because the repulsions will be similar. If the central atom is linked to different atoms, or if it is surrounded by bond pairs as well as lone pairs. So if you have bond pairs, along with that, if you have lone pairs of electrons on central atom, then the repulsion between them will be different. So as a result, the molecule will have an irregular or distorted geometry. So when there is only bond pairs, no confusion, because the bond pairs and bond pairs will repel each other and the repulsion will be similar. So we are going to get a regular geometry. So when you have both bond pairs and lone pairs, how will be the repulsion? Now look here. Lone pair and a lone pair repelling each other will be greater than lone pair bond pair repulsion, which will be greater than bond pair repulsion. Now I'll show you a model. Let's take this as a central atom. If this central atom is bonded to two other atoms, okay, so I'm taking this as one atom and this as another atom. So these two are bond pairs. These two are what? Bond pairs. So we expect it to be like this. These two are bond pairs. Because this bond pair repels this bond pair, so they are at the maximum distance, so that the repulsion between them will be minimum. So they are not like this because it's repelling each other. Now, if there is lone pair of electron on this central atom, for example, so when there are two lone pairs along with this bond pairs, according to VSEPR theory, the lone pair repulsion will be more. So they will repel as much as possible and this two will come closer. So you will get a bent shape. Remember, the lone pair repulsion will be higher than lone pair bond pair repulsion, and which will be higher than bond pair repulsion. So bond pair repulsion is the minimum repulsion and the maximum will be between lone pair and a lone pair. So you will get a structure like this. This is actually the structure of water molecule. See, oxygen bonded to two hydrogen atoms and two lone pair of electrons are present on oxygen atom. So because of this difference in repulsion, the geometry of the molecule will be distorted. In the absence of these two lone pairs, the shape of the molecule would have been linear, but because this repulsion is similar, because both are bond pairs. But because of the presence of this lone pair and difference in the repulsion, the distorted shape is given for the molecule. And the last assumption is the exact shape of the molecule depends upon the total number of electron pairs present around the central atom. When we say electron pairs, we consider both bond pairs and lone pairs. So depending upon the number of lone pairs and bond pairs present around the central atom, the exact shape of the molecule is determined. Now let's see what are the different shapes, possible shapes a molecule can possess depending upon the number of bond pairs and lone pairs. First, we are going to consider the molecules having only bond pairs, no lone pairs here. So if the molecule has only bond pairs, what are the different shapes it can possess depending upon the number of bond pairs of electrons? Before going into this tabular column, recall, according to VSEPR theory, the electron pairs will repel each other as much as possible. So that determines the shape of the molecule. So in the first example, we are going to take a molecule which has two electron pairs and both are bond pairs. Then what will be the shape of the molecule? It will be linear. See, this is the central atom. These are the two bond pairs. They repel each other. So the shape will be linear. So this will be the geometry of electron pairs and this will be the geometry of the molecule A and B2. Both are same when there are only bond pairs, no lone pairs. Examples of this type are carbon dioxide, beryllium chloride, BeCl2, HgCl2. So remember, when there are two electron pairs and both are bond pairs, then the shape of the molecule will be linear. I have shown an example already. See, let's take this as an example. Central atom and you have two bond pairs, 1, 2. So the repulsion will be maximum. So they form a linear structure. So this is the structure of a molecule with two bond pairs. And next one, number of electron pairs is equal to 3. So when there are 3 bond pairs, this will be the arrangement. So there is maximum repulsion between these two, maximum repulsion here and again maximum repulsion, and all the repulsions are similar. So you have a trigonal planar geometry. Example is BF3. Okay, so there are 3 bond pairs. These numbers I have written here, I will tell you at the end of this tabular column. So when there are 3 bond pairs, the shape will be trigonal planar. When there are 4 bond pairs, okay, this will be the arrangement. We call this as tetrahedral arrangement. And examples for this tetrahedral arrangement is CH4 and NH4 plus. And remember, there will be bond angles. We have learned about bond angles under bond parameters. So in the case of linear molecule, what will be the bond angle? 180 degree. Here in this case, the bond angle here will be 120 degree. In the case of tetrahedral molecule, the bond angle here, all the bond angles will be similar and that will be equal to 109.5 degree. Let's take a model for this trigonal planar. See, if this is the central atom, for example, in BF3, if this is B, these 3 are F. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So the shape will be trigonal planar. So you have to imagine a 3-dimensional structure here. If you connect all this, you will get a trigonal planar structure because these bond pairs repel each other as much as possible. Same way for tetrahedral, I am taking CH4. Let this be the carbon. These 4 are hydrogen atoms. So they repel each other and you get a tetrahedral structure like this. See, this is a tetrahedral structure and the bond angle is 109.5 degree. The bond angle between this, this is 109.5 degree. And the next one, where there are 5 electron pairs, and remember we are talking only about bond pairs, we are not including lone pairs. So 5 bond pairs. So this is the geometry of the electron pairs. The central atom here, so they have to repel each other as much as possible and all the 5 bond pairs should be accommodated here. So that gives you a trigonal bipyramidal structure. So this is the trigonal bipyramidal structure. Example is PCl5. When there are 6 bond pairs, this will be the geometry of the electron pairs. So the shape will be octahedral. So geometry of the electron pairs will be like this and the geometry of the molecule will be like this, and the example is SF6. So remember, when there are 2 bond pairs, shape of the molecule is linear, 3 bond pairs trigonal planar, 4 bond pairs tetrahedral, 5 bond pairs trigonal bipyramidal and 6 bond pairs octahedral. Now here I have written 2 bond pairs. There is only one possibility, only 2 bond pairs can be there. We cannot have 1 lone pair and 1 bond pair. But here in this case, out of the 3 electron pairs, in the first when we discussed, I told you all the 3 are bond pairs. And what are the other possibility? This is the another possibility. 2 can be bond pair, 1 can be a lone pair. That I will show you in another tabular column. I am just showing you the possibilities, how the total number of electron pairs can be divided as bond pairs and lone pairs. So all the 4 can be bond pairs, or you can have 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair, or 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. Other possibilities. When there are 5 total electron pairs, all the 5 can be bond pairs, or 4 bond pairs, 1 lone pair, or 3 bond pairs, 2 lone pairs, or 2 bond pairs and 3 lone pairs. 3 possibilities, actually 5 possibilities. And when there are 6 electron pairs, we are going to have 2 possibilities. Out of that, all the 6 can be electron pairs can be bond pairs, or 5 can be bond pairs, 1 can be a lone pair, or 4 can be bond pairs and 2 can be lone pairs. Now we will see how the shape would be distorted when there is lone pair along with the bond pair. See, when there is only bond pair, these are the structures. When the lone pair is present, then there will be different repulsions. Just now I told you the order. Repulsion between bond pair and bond pair, bond pair and bond pair, again bond pair and bond pair is similar, so no problem. Suppose instead of this bond pair, if I have a lone pair here, I told you bond pair, lone pair repulsion will be different. Bond pair will be repulsion will be different, and lone pair repulsion will also be different. Out of this three, which repulsion will be maximum? Lone pair repulsion will be maximum, and then comes lone pair repulsion, and finally bond pair repulsion. So because of that change in the repulsion, this structure is going to be distorted. So you are going to get a different distorted irregular structure if lone pairs are present on the central atom. In this tabular column, you are going to see the shape of some simple molecules or ions with central atom having one or more lone pairs of electrons. Just now we have seen without lone pairs, if only bond pairs are there, what will be the structures? If bond pairs along with that lone pairs are also present, how will be the geometry? So in the first case, there are 2 bond pairs and 1 lone pairs. Total number of electron pairs 3. Out of that, 2 bond pairs and 1 lone pairs. The shape will be bent shape. Example of this type are SO2 and O3. Now see, when there are 3 electron pairs and all the 3 are bond pairs, you get trigonal planar structure. Now here 2 are bond pairs and this one is a lone pair. So I am taking a different color. So this is a lone pair. So instead of trigonal planar structure, we are getting a different structure because when all the 3 were bond pairs, for example, if it were like this, these repulsions and this repulsion were similar, so you get a regular geometry. Now, when instead of bond pair, if I have a lone pair here, I told you the lone pair bond pair repulsion will be different. Again, same way, here you have lone pair bond pair and here you have bond pair. So this bond pair repulsion will be different from this too. I told you comparing with bond pair repulsion, lone pair repulsion will be more. So it is coming a little more closer to this because this is pushing it further. So it's coming nearer like this. So it's coming nearer like this. So you get a bent structure. This is a structure of SO2 or O3. And the next one is you have 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. So totally you have 4 electron pairs. So out of 4 electron pairs, if all the 4 are bond pairs, what will be the geometry? It will be tetrahedral. So this will be the geometry when all the 4 are bond pairs because the repulsions will be similar. So out of these 4 electron pairs, if one is lone pair, what will happen? So this is a lone pair. I told you these 3 repulsions will be similar, but the repulsion between these 2 will be different. So lone pair, bond pair repulsion will be more. So instead of being here, this is going to come little closer, and all these 3 will come little closer because the repulsion between these and this will be different, and this will be different because this is the repulsion between bond pair and bond pair. This repulsion is between lone pair and bond pair, and obviously this repulsion will be more than this repulsion. So these 3 are coming closer, so you get a trigonal pyramidal shape. We call this shape as trigonal pyramidal. And the next one is 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. Okay. When all the 4 are bond pairs, just now I showed you, you will have tetrahedral geometry. When there is 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair, you are getting trigonal bipyramidal. When there are 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs, again you are getting a bent structure. First we had all the 4 bond pairs, we had tetrahedral geometry. Then we had 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. So we had trigonal pyramidal geometry because of this repulsion between lone pair and bond pair. Now we are having 2 bond pairs. Okay, and 2 lone pairs. So one more lone pair we are going to fix. So out of the 4 electron pairs, there are 2 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs, and obviously this repulsion will be very high because these repulsions are between lone pairs and lone pairs, and this repulsion is somewhat little because this is between lone pair and bond pair, and this will be very minimum because this is between bond pair and bond pair. So you're going to get a bent structure like this. This is going to be as far as apart like this. Okay, so we call this structure as bent structure, and that will be the structure of H2O molecule, water molecule. Same way, all the structures will be distorted if there are lone pairs of electrons. So next one, we have 4 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. You have seesaw geometry. This will be the geometry. We call this a seesaw. An example is SF4. And then you have 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. So totally how many electron pairs are there? 5 electron pairs. Out of that, we have 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. Then the shape we call it as T shape. So these are the lone pairs. These are the bond pairs. See, this is lone pair, bond pairs. These 2 lone pairs, bond pairs. Lone pairs and bond pairs. So T shape, example ClF3. And here 5 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. Then the shape is square pyramid. So this is the square pyramid. So totally 6 electron pairs. Out of that 5 are bond pairs, 1 is lone pair. Example is BrF5. And finally, if you have 4 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs, then this is having square planar geometry. Example is XeF4. So you have to be very clear depending upon the number of electron pairs, and out of in that electron pairs how many is bond pair and lone pair. Based on that, the shape of the molecule is decided. So remember, when there are only 2 electron pairs around the central atom and both are bond pairs, linear shape. All the 3 are bond pairs, then we have trigonal planar. When will you have tetrahedral structure? When all 4 electron pairs are bond pairs. And then trigonal bipyramidal structure, it will be present when all the 5 electron pairs are bond pairs. And finally you have octahedral structure when all the 6 electron pairs are bond pairs. Now when you have lone pairs along with bond pairs, then you will get distorted geometry. So I have given you a list. So the question will be asked, they will give you H2O molecule. Using VSEPR theory, how will you predict the shape of this molecule? Or using VSEPR theory, predict the shape of H2O molecule. All you have to do is draw the Lewis structure, find out how many electron pairs are there around the central atom. In that electron pairs, find out how many bond pairs and how many lone pairs are there. And then you have to know this list. So when you have 2 bond pairs and 1 lone pair, then the shape will be bent shape. When you have 4 bond pairs and 1 lone pairs, then you will have seesaw shape. So if you know this tabular column, then whatever molecule is given to you from the Lewis structure, and you have a formula also to calculate that, which I will be teaching in the next video. Based on that, you can predict the shape of any molecule using VSEPR theory. And all you have to remember at the end about this VSEPR theory, electron pairs repel each other and they move as far as apart. So that decides the shape of the molecule. And when you have different repulsion, if the repulsion is between lone pair and lone pair, repulsion can be between lone pair and bond pair, and the repulsion can be between bond pair and bond pair. Out of these 3 repulsions, the maximum repulsions will be between lone pair and lone pair, and the minimum will be between bond pair and bond pair. So depending upon this repulsions, you are getting different distorted geometries. So that's the end of VSEPR theory. In the next video, I will teach you how to predict the shape of the molecules using this VSEPR theory. Thank you.